Welcome back, settlers. We are on the home stretch of Sine Tempore's Unboxed videos series that I've been putting together to show everybody what's inside the box. I'm sure you guys don't need to go through me pulling off plastic and unwrapping everything. Why not just show you it all at once, and then we can go over it pretty quickly. So yeah, hitting home stretch, we've got the Kyrone expansion here. We've got leftover MOTHERFANG and ARACNE, and then that would be pretty much it. In this video, I'm going to show you the art book that comes as part of the Kickstarter bundle that I got. This may not be available if the game comes to retail. It'll just be the base game, but without the art book, so we'll quickly go over that at the end of this video. So let's jump right into it. So, Kyrone, overall, not as many components as you would see in the bigger boxes. So the sort of the series as I go, or the bigger boxes, smaller boxes, smaller boxes, smaller boxes. So one tile, one punch board, multiple tokens, and some new tokens, which we'll talk about. And then there's 3 total missions for the game. This is a Nemesis, just like some of the Pandora. She had Nemesis cards, and then we'll go over those decks as well. So quickly look at the board. Now this board represents Kyrone's hunting grounds. And then a small scenic element, Kyrone's hut. Got your momentum activation tokens. These tokens, which are negative status in the game, these are prey tokens. So these tokens are new and they're numbered. So the investigation sort of investigate these specific numbered tokens. And then you've got what normally are loot tokens. Sorry, off screen there. These tokens are actually numbered as well. So numbered tokens in this expansions. And then you've got the basic wound and blood tokens with some other tokens that you'll use in the campaign scenarios. You've got your this is a Primus 5 green area Nemesis mission. Again, these are Nemesis mission cards. We'll go into some 3D elements. This one comes with 3D elements. The Pandora box expansion didn't come with 3D elements, but these are things that we've seen before. So you've got a mushroom and bushes. Again, same artwork, same 3D element design. And now I think we can jump over to miniatures. Well, actually, let's look at some of the other decks. So we've got drafting deck, vermin, hound, shukuf, if you pronounce it that way, keeper, guardian's eye, which is Kyrone, just given a different variant. Got the rewards and equipment cards. I guess I should flip these over so you can see which one's which. Ritual mask, reward creation cost. So those are reward cards, and then we'll go over the actual miniatures now and bring up some of the cards for them at the same time. So again, you get 3 of these miniatures. Little bendy on the staffs for these guys, but hot water normally always fixes that. There's our cards. A little bit closer look at the miniature. Again, the artwork, detail, sculpts are very good. Lots of detail, even the ripples in the muscles there. All right, and then you've got 5 of these. These are pests. You know, in the Pandora box set, I called those other figures runners, but that's just the type. So these guys are kind of modeled after, or Mambo is kind of modeled after these guys. Either way, there is some issues with the mold for Mambo. All right, so this is a quick look, an early look at a miniature, a pet from the ARACNE set, which will probably be the next one that we go over. But you can see that he's supposed to go after you, sort of the predator, not predator, but the alien that burst out of the scientist's chest in the original Alien movie. And then they made a parody of that to where he pops up out of the chest and then he does sort of a dance number. That parody is what this is modeled after. But if you look at sort of these, they are essentially the same model, the same species, with a little bit different of a sculpt. But one thing that's missing, you kind of see the face of the guy on the left, and then you can kind of see the face and how it, I just think they forgot to add a specific piece to glue on there, because it looks like it has a space for that. But I think I've even seen in the comments that since he's going to be essentially sitting down like this, you're never really going to see the face. And I guess that's why they decided not to do that. But you can see he's modeled after the guy on the left, same species, but he doesn't have a face. But let's see, if those guys were sitting level next to each other, you can kind of see where the face disappears because of the hat. But I think this one could be fixed on the right. Again, Mambo does not come in this set. Mambo comes in the ARACNE set. We'll look at him closer in that video. All right, and then looking at Kyrone himself, you've got his Nemesis card, and then you've got his drafting card, or his enemy card, and then some of the rewards that you get with him, from him, and then his stats. And then we'll look at the Nemesis deck over there, and then Kyrone himself. Kyrone, again, long staff, soft plastic, just a little bit of hot water would fix that. So overall, though, good details. You can see the muscles in the in his legs. So that is Kyrone. All right, and then his individual Nemesis deck. Again, how they'll activate when you're facing them individually, how they respond to you based on where the player is at, how they respond, how they damage you. Again, he's a hunter. He's probably going to be hunting you. Almost feels like a encounter with one of the bosses in Dark Souls. All right, and then the rule book. There you can see the introduction. See the new rules on the tokens and the prey token. Negative status. Some of the new enemies. Again, pause this if you want to read. How to use the expansion. I don't think I've ever done sort of letting you guys look at the rule book and read through it if you so choose. Just pausing where you need to. And then you go straight into the missions. So a little bit smaller of a rule book. Total of 11 pages. Again, I don't want to spoil any of this other stuff, so I guess it really doesn't matter. You guys can decide if you want to spoil it or not. But there's that. All right, that's pretty much it for this expansion. We're getting smaller expansions, so these are primarily just sort of units. Again, you can throw these units and have random encounters in some of the other missions based on their skill level. I would like to now sort of amend a statement that I made in the some of the other videos. So these. In my previous videos, I said they need to replace these because they don't fit on the miniatures. But I'm going to have to go through all the miniatures and check to see which ones don't work on these. But I had tried using, I had kind of focused on the rigid plastic and soft plastic. And in my models for the core box, these weren't fitting on those models. But I mean, these models, for some reason, are not fitting. But then you go to this model and it kind of fits. And that's the hard plastic. So now we'll go to the soft plastic. Okay, soft plastic. And that fits just fine. So inconsistencies in the bases are what's causing. So before I showed a video to where the plastic was on the base so tight that it would just retreat on its own. But these seem to work. Well, this model might be slightly different in size. So this one works. I'd have to go through each individual one of them, but we take the hard plastic one and it's a little bit tougher. Again, it's still kind of stretching a bit over there. Press up on it. But I don't know if you can see how it's concave. It's not actually flat. And you can see how it's pulling away. So the softer ones seem to fit okay. You take one of these brown ones. That one seems to fit okay. But they're not consistent through the model sizes. So they could work. And for what I've been doing, if they do not fit, so that one fits okay. If they don't fit, I just flip them around and I'll set them down on the board this way. I can still see which ones they are. I'm going to zoom in real quick. You can still see which model is which. And you primarily do that whenever you have a different style of model. So the green one would represent this guy, where the other guy would represent these guys, since they're two variations of the cards. But I do it that way if I can't get the bases on. But it seems that some of the bases actually do fit. Alright, here's the Sine Tempore art book. Total of about 83 pages. So you've got 80, 81, 82, and 83. These will definitely be useful for painting the miniatures. Get all the color schemes, comparison of the model and the artwork. Look at the planet. So far we're in miniatures that come in the core box. Still core box miniatures. There's Kyrone, which we looked at in this video. MOTHERFANG. This is a core box miniature that you get in the black box. All the pets. You can kind of see their Mambo artwork. Based on that miniature that I showed you. This is the Hydra. Pandora. The scientists are the only characters, enemies, that don't have a model to represent them. The blessed weapons, Alpha and Omega. So we are getting artwork from all the expansions. Maybe we'll get some artwork from the that was a delayed thought. Maybe we'll get some artwork for the 4 heroes that kind of represent Spaceballs characters. Maybe, perhaps. I can be hopeful. This is the first time I'm looking through this art book. Yes, we are going to get artwork on the Spaceball characters. Again, they're not calling them Spaceball characters, but you can pretty much put 2 and 2 together. Like in some of these are actual equipment cards for those characters. You got Darth Vader or Dark Seed from the dark side. Obvious representation there, and then the Dark Munchkin. This is Vampire Hunters. I know some of these other ones here at the end kind of represent crossover. And then the ship Genesis. Alright, that is the entire art book. So that is my look at the Sine Tempore Kyrone expansion unboxed video. We've got 2 more to come, the ARACNE and the MOTHERFANG. In this one, we looked at Kyrone and his hunting grounds and some of the new elements that you can add to your Sine Tempore game, as well as the art book. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please drop them into the comments section. I'm fairly active and I will respond as soon as I can. If there's things that you'd like to see, drop them in the comments as well. But as always, I appreciate you watching. All the other links for the videos that I've done for the core box, the Pandora box, the black hole box, SILICIO, and pets is also included in the Pandora. Those are in the description below, so click on those links, check those out. I appreciate you watching, and I will check you on the next Unboxed video.